Well, the win streak was going to end at some point, and it's really just annoying the way this one ended. But what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Met Central. And yeah, Mets lose 3-1 to the Cincinnati Reds as their 9-game win streak, what could have been 10, comes to a close. Before we jump in everything, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. I'm just annoyed with the way this one ended because of the fact that, well, as I look over and I just see the Atlanta Braves get a walk-off. That's great. But there was no way that was going to please me, obviously, with the win streak ending. Like, there was no world where I was going to be like, you know, it's fine. I could have lived a little bit more if the offense produced and the bullpen had a hiccup, because it's been a while since the bullpen had a hiccup, where you could have been like, you know what? But the offense at least showed some promise when they haven't lately. But man, the offense today, you got 0-4s from the top 5 of your order. Luis Torrens 0 for 3 too. And I don't know what in the world we're even doing sending DJ Stewart up to the plate in the 9th inning. I have no clue what that decision making was. And I had someone on Twitter say to me, well, they're playing chess, not checkers here, because they're putting up Stewart to walk, and then Martinez is going to hit a walk-off. Harrison Bader is one of the only guys that got hits today. Why are we even bothering, and why are we trying to forecast our way to that part instead of trying to just win the game beforehand or tie the game beforehand? Why are we trying to foresight this when I would have been way more comfortable with either JD Martinez pitch hitting there, or, I mean, I don't even know at this point. And this is where you get to the conversation where I have no idea why DJ Stewart was even called up in the first place, because it just bothers me when you have Ritter down there in AAA raking. You have Gilbert, who has been on a tear lately in AAA. And if you wanted somebody that plays the outfield and is a left-handed bat, why are we bothering with the guy who's been here for months of the season and isn't even sniffing league average with batting average, isn't sniffing league average with OPS? Why are we bothering with DJ Stewart instead of a more athletic, younger player that could be a spark plug like Drew Gilbert? Or again, I would have been fine with Ritter. I would have been fine with Acuna. I would have been fine with pretty much any option. I mean, what are we doing here? And again, it just sucks that he ended up even getting in that spot and ended up pinch hitting. But either way, it's hard to blame just DJ Stewart for today's loss. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that's why they lost the game, because at the end of the day, Lindor had a very rough series against the Reds, which he's been on fire, but man, we got to hold him accountable when he's not performing well. And I know that he's still doing it with the glove this series, and he was making a lot of brilliant plays. But we got to hold him a bit accountable for this series and just say it how it is. He just didn't have a good series. Am I sitting here saying he's out of the MVP conversation, he sucks, is going to go in a deep slump? No, but it is, you can't ignore the facts here that he was like 1 for 12 or something this series, and that's just not good enough against this Reds team. And then Brandon Nimmo, outside of a few foul balls where it looked like it maybe would have left the yard if it stayed fair, what'd you get from him this series? And he continues to slump. Vientos had a down game today, which again, hard to get mad at him when he had the game he did in game 1, but a down game from him. Pete Alonso, he went 0-4, but at least he drew a couple walks, so there's something to take away from that. Jesse Winker, when Jesse Winker went up to the plate, when he went up to the plate, no, I'll get to that when we recap the game. But then you got Marte, who continues to just be at best. I mean, he had the RBI, the only RBI today, but he's just meh at best. And then Bader's the only one with a multi-hit game, but whatever. Let's just talk about this. A 1-2-3 inning from Severino in the first inning. The Mets go down order in the bottom of the first. Top of the second, a 1-2-3 inning again for Severino. And then the bottom of the second, Pete Alonso walks. And I'm trying to understand. You got Jesse Winker going up there bunting. He goes up looking for a bunt. Whoever's decision it was to have Jesse Winker bunt there, I got a lot of questions because what are you doing having one of your hotter hitters in the lineup as of lately bunting? What are you doing having your designated hitter bunting? Let him swing the bat. Ridiculous. I am livid with that decision. That was probably the decision of all things that could have that happened in this game. Out of everything, I think that genuinely pissed me off the most. I genuinely was disgusted seeing Jesse Winker going up there looking for a bunt. Why? Why are we having him bunt there? Who is that helping out? I don't understand that. And then Iglesias strikes out, Marte grounds out. So did it mean much in the grand scheme of things? Maybe not. But the principle of it? No, man. No, you can't have Jesse Winker going up there looking for bunts. Sorry. Nope. You can't. You cannot justify that one bit. Top of the third, though, Marte strikes out, Benson walks, and then a ground out for O'Malley, which Vientos made a very good play there at third base. Jonathan India lines out. We go to the bottom of the third. Terrence flies out. Bader with a single. Lindor hits into a force out, and then Nimmo flies out. We go to the fourth inning where Ellie ends up walking, and then Luis Terrence guns him out looking to steal it back. Terrence has just been unbelievable with that behind the plate. Guns him out at second base. And then Steer pops out. France grounds out. We go to the bottom of the fourth where Vientos walks. Alonso gets hit by a pitch. You get 2 on with no out, and you do nothing as Jesse Winker hits into a force out. Iglesias flies out. Marte grounds out to end the inning. Top of the fifth, Fraley with a double. Espinal ends up getting a single, and then Luis Severino ends up picking him off, and then he gets 2 strikeouts. Fired up walking off the mound, and I'm like, the Mets are winning this game. Right then and there, you get out of that sort of trouble, and Severino's fired up on the mound. I'm like, yeah, they got this one in the bag because Severino was dealing today, and I felt confident after that especially. It was just a matter of which inning the Mets were going to pick to get the offense going. Bottom of the fifth, it maybe looked like it for a second when after Terrence popped out, Bader got a single, but Lindor struck out, and then Nimmo lined out to end the inning. Sixth inning, Maley strikes out. India strikes out. Ellie ends up getting a single, and then a error moves him over, and then Steer flies out to end the inning. And then the sixth inning, where I really thought they were going to just pile it on offensively, as Vientos strikes out, Alonso walks, Winker strikes out, and then Iglesias with a single, Marte with a single to make it 1-0. And then you get the double steal there. But Terrence strikes out to end the inning there, unfortunately, so they couldn't pile it on. Seventh inning, though, they surrender it right back, unfortunately, as France gets a single. Fraley hits into a force out, a wild pitch there by Severino. Espinal strikes out. Marte with a single, which, by the way, the hits the Reds were getting really, really bothered me today. They really bothered me because it was a lot of just bloop hits. Severino realistically could have went out there and allowed maybe 1 or 2 hits. He was just dominant today, and he would exit after that. Reed Garrett gets a strikeout, and all I could say about Reed Garrett, because he pitched a 1-2-3 inning in the 8th as well, welcome back to the Circle of Trust, where unfortunately, as we have someone enter the Circle of Trust, we have someone on the brink now of exiting the Circle of Trust potentially. The Mets go down in order, by the way, in the 7th inning. 8th inning, same deal. The Mets go down in order after Garrett had that 1-2-3 inning. And then MATON comes in, and this is now his 2nd consecutive shaky outing. So that's why I say he's on the brink of losing or exiting the Circle of Trust, because I'm not going to push him out the door yet, but, you know, this was not really a, I shouldn't even say not really, it just was not a good outing whatsoever from Phil MATON. And maybe I should just drop him in fantasy. Maybe that's the issue, because whenever I pick someone up in fantasy, it's doomsday for them. But he hits the first batter, and right then and there, I knew trouble was coming. Ty France gets a single, and then you just knew you could pack it up there, because there was no shot you were coming back from that. There was just no shot with 2 on, no out. But then Fraley grounds out, and you think maybe. And Espinal gets a double, makes it 3-1. Marte strikes out, and then Alex Young comes in. Hines pops out. We go to the ninth inning. Iglesias strikes out. Marte flies out. And then Stewart comes up the pinch hit, which I cannot fathom why. And he strikes out. And that's the end of your game. I don't know what to tell you other than the offense needs to get out of this, because despite them winning, this has been an ongoing conversation amongst many Met fans, including myself, because if you've watched any of the past few post games, you would know I'd say, hey, they're winning games. I don't care how they're doing it. They need to, but at some point, the offense needs to be a lot better. And this is one of the games where it really wasn't great. 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position, and they left 7 on base. If you were to ask me going into this homestand, I would have told you 5-1 would have been good. But it's just like every single time where we forecast these records that we say, I will take this record in this set of games. It's the same thing again, where it's like, it's nice that they went 5-1. I would have signed up for it. But after you start the homestand 5-0, you really got to get the job done there. You really do. And especially when your offense lets you down as much as they did for Severino, who was dominant today. It just really sucks. It really does. But now they head to Toronto to face that team who just did not help you at all. Sort of did, but they didn't help you today after blowing that game against the Braves. So I want some piss and vinegar running through the Mets' veins, and I want them to absolutely annihilate the Blue Jays rolling into the series. We will discuss more about the series, of course, on a podcast episode. Thank you so much for watching the post game, though. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, turn on your notifications so you know I upload or go live on the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.